Hello. So, just something I've been thinking about is the nature of people pleasing and really like the trap of people pleasing. And yeah, so something I've noticed that has happened to me recently a couple times is I do something that I think someone is going to love after doing something that upset them, right? So it's like I don't meet their expectations for a really long time, and then I finally do something that I'm like, oh, they're going to be so excited I'm doing this thing. They're going to be so happy that I'm like doing this thing. I know they're going to love it. And when I do that thing, they are either completely neutral and don't care, or they're upset about it. And so, like, they're not excited at all, and it's actually a negative reaction. So, something that made me realize it's just like how pointless people pleasing really is, and how we don't really allow ourselves to explore that reality. I think what was happening to me was for a really, really long time, I was like hell bent on just like people pleasing, especially certain people in my life. I would never even dream of like doing something to upset them. And so I was just like so like leashed to this like need to please them, never doing what I wanted to do if it meant upsetting them, which is like really dishonoring my own alignment. And now, as I've like been more intentional about honoring my alignment in the last like many months and year, it's like I have disappointed people many, many times in doing that, and it's okay. And when I think I'm trying to please them now, I'm actually not. So, but I am honoring my alignment. And in those moments where I think I'm doing something that's in alignment for me, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna love this, it doesn't please them, and yet I'm not bothered by it anymore because I'm honoring my own alignment. I don't need them to be pleased because I'm in alignment. I'm pleased with what's happening. And I think that's the thing about people pleasing. When you are leaving your own alignment, straying from your own alignment to please somebody else, you need them to validate you. You need them to be pleased because you aren't pleased on your own. When you're in your alignment, you are pleased with your own actions. So you don't need someone else's pleasure to fulfill your own need to be pleasured, almost, to be pleased. And so, yeah, when you try to please, when you are in this trap of the cycle of people pleasing, you need the other's validation for you to feel good. But when you're in the cycle and rhythm of following your own alignment, you are pleasing yourself. You're getting your own satisfaction from your own action. So, aligned action. So it's just interesting. And another note on this is that we don't know what will please other people. We think we know what will please other people, but in reality, we don't. So all those times that I'm trying to please other people, all those times I was trying to please people in the past, when that was like my main way of operating, was just pleasing certain people in my life that informed every action I took, I never really knew for sure what would please them and what wouldn't. I was assuming every single time. And yeah, some of it were educated assumptions based on like what had brought them happiness in the past. But you don't really know what's going to please people. And so the point is, since we can't know what will please others, there's no point in trying to please them at the expense of our own aligned action. Because when you try to please other people, you're assuming what will please them, and you might be wrong. So if you're going out of your way to please someone and you still might not even get that outcome, you might as well just focus on being in your own alignment, because that is something that you do know. Only you know your own alignment. You don't know what will please or be aligned with someone else. So, just something to think about today, and I'm wishing you well. If you have, I don't know if that made sense. To me, that made sense. But let me know if that was confusing, or if you have a question about that, or if you have your own insight on this topic. I'd love to hear from you. So please feel free to connect. Sending you a lot of love. Namaste.